Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily news television show broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified the Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ plus streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 10 million views.
We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in the LGBTQ community.
There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
That's right, Alexander. And it is Monday, July 28th. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we will tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ plus evening news show.
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community.
Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of the LGBTQ community. We want to inform and educate on the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 10,000 LGBTQ television stories. We present PrideFête in August, and we declare that love is in the air with Pride Fort Lauderdale on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Our magazine, events, television, news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this table and share their voice as your anchors. Together, we host a show to support the LGBTQ plus community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Yes, I've got family at the table. I am super excited to have back at the table anchor Dale Stine, a celebrated photographer in the LGBTQ plus community. He's the director of music ministry at the famous Unity on the Bay and a moderator of Miami Gay List. Dale, PrideFête to light up Wilton Manors on August 9th. Tell me what's happening out.
PrideFête, produced by nonprofit media Hotspots Happening Out, will electrify Wilton Manors with Caribbean rhythm, color, and pride on Saturday, August 9th. The vibrant celebration will take place from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Richardson Historic Park, transforming the space into a joyful haven for Caribbean LGBTQ plus communities and allies. The event will have its first ever Carnival Fit contest at 6:30 p.m. Attendees will experience bold entertainment, live Caribbean music, mouth-watering food, and non-stop dancing under the stars. PrideFête is also welcoming volunteers and vendors to be part of the magic. For tickets, sign-ups, and full details, visitors can head to pridefete.lgbt. It promises to be the largest LGBTQ plus event for the end of the summer. Event updates will be posted on their Instagram at PrideFête Festival. Wow, so this is the 4th year this already is happening. So every year it gets bigger and better and bolder and with less clothes.
That's all Dale can think about are the outfits. But the outfits are so incredible. I mean, there's like feathers and all kinds of just like people put like their time and effort into these incredible costumes. And rightfully so, because there's going to be a contest for it this year. So they might walk away with some bucks in their pocket, you know. But PrideFête is one of my favorites just because it's, you know, well, first of all, do you say Caribbean or Caribbean?
I would have said Caribbean.
I
feel like I would be wrong.
But they're both acceptable.
They're both acceptable, and guess what? They're both right, Alexander.
Yeah.
So you are totally good with that, all right? And something that I love
How appropriate.
is 3 things that I love. Caribbean music, Caribbean food, delicious, and Caribbean boys. All right? So
Does it have to be in that order?
No, it does not.
Thank you.
And sometimes they can be one and the same, all in the same.
All in the same. Well, yeah.
Well, what are you most looking forward to, Jason?
I remember last year when I went to PrideFête, I really was able to see my little Puerto Rican contingent that was there. The traditional mask, the garb, the dance.
The flags.
And talking about belonging, I truly felt like I belonged there. I felt like I was at home back in Puerto Rico, street party. You know, I may not have known people in the area, but we all felt like family. And I think that's what, something about the Caribbean, you know, and then of course, us Latinos, Caribbeans like to eat.
Yeah.
Food that's going to be there.
Yes. Time to eat. Time to eat. Alexander, you're Latino, right? What would draw you to PrideFête?
I'd be there to shake my ass, but long enough to like work up an appetite, because then I'm hitting the food. It's the same thing. It's all about getting to the food at the end of the day.
Right?
Like, it's unlike anything else.
Ay, qué rico. All right, well, folks, get there early. And what I always tell people is like, you know, I know people that are like, oh, it's so hard to meet people in Wilton. It's so hard to meet people in South Florida. You know how you meet people? You volunteer. All right. You will meet everybody by volunteering at one of these incredible events, right? So do yourself a favor and sign up and go volunteer at PrideFête, right? That way you also get it for free. I'm always trying to save you some money, you know. And Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you all at PrideFête August 9th. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back to the table, newly tanned. You see that face? Wow, I want some of that tan. Hello, Myrtle Beach. Jason Nunez is back at the table, and Jason is a trailblazing leader, passionate entrepreneur, and fierce advocate for equality. He is the president and CEO of the Greater Fort Lauderdale LGBT Chamber of Commerce, and as a third-generation minority Air Force veteran, he has served at the Pentagon, the White House, the State Department, and the Department of Labor. Jason, GFLGLCC is heading to the International LGBTQ plus Biz Conference on August 19th. Oh my God, this sounds so exciting. Tell me what's happening out.
Absolutely. So the Greater Fort Lauderdale LGBT Chamber of Commerce will proudly participate in the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce International Business and Leadership Conference from August 19th through August 22nd in Las Vegas. As the largest LGBTQ plus business event in the U.S., the conference draws top entrepreneurs, corporate leaders, and change makers from across the globe. GFLGLCC will showcase Greater Fort Lauderdale's dynamic queer business community while forging new partnerships, exploring supplier diversity opportunities, and exchanging insights with global peers. Members attending will engage in networking, workshops, and policy sessions aimed at advancing inclusive business practices. You can learn more about GFLGLCC and the NGLCC at gogayfortlauderdale.com. So this is an amazing annual event for businesses. This is going to be my first one as an affiliate chamber leader. I've attended the last 4 as a business owner with Go Digital Hero. And the energy and the vibe in this conference is never seen before. What I really like now is that I'm in a position to showcase the businesses here in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
To show that you don't have to just watch the news. Look what Fort Lauderdale's doing.
Yeah.
Look what Florida's doing.
Yes.
I'll join Lisette Garcia with the Miami-Dade LGBT Chamber, Renee Cantu with the Tampa Bay. You know, there's 4 affiliate chambers within the state of Florida, and we are all going to show up at this national conference and represent. So I'm really looking forward to not only showcasing us and what's going down here in South Florida, but also bringing back of, you know, what might be working out in Kansas or California or Missouri and what we can do here, because it's all about that networking and community.
So it's all about learning. It's all about, sorry about that, Dale. It's all about learning and learning from others and seeing, like you said, what other people are doing, and also teaching others what we're doing here. Like, we're red state, okay? People look at us and are afraid. You know, I
look at us and I'm afraid.
And you should be, you know, but whenever anybody at this table leaves this state and talks to anybody and says, oh, I'm from Miami, I'm from South Florida, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, people's faces, they automatically react like, are you okay? Right. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
And you say no.
And we're not, but we're okay because we have each other, right? And because we've had to learn how to implement things to make people to cope, but we've also had to implement things to have people feel seen, for businesses to work. And Jason and the chamber is bringing that to Vegas and letting them know that we're still here, we're still fighting, and this is what works for us.
And we're still way gay.
And we're still way gay.
So you also work with, you're working with Miami Lisette. Yeah, but you also work with the Gym CVB, like Dan Rios. And
Dan Rios, Visit Lauderdale. So we bring all of the South Florida, well, for me, South Florida. I'll leave Renee and them to the North Florida, but Florida will be very represented.
That's amazing. That's a great contingency. Wow.
Huge. And bringing those like communities together, it's so great. Like I just recently went to P-Town and got to see that for the first time, and that's like revigorating. It's revitalizing. Like to see so many of us, we're not alone. We're out there. We're thriving. Things are going better than we can see in Florida. So to have that visual out there and then connected to here and then back and forth. Like, you know, we're here and we're together. So it's really great that you're putting that all together.
Yeah.
And Vegas and Austin, Vegas in August, they say it's a dry heat. When you return, will you be able to tell us if absolutely everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas?
As much as I can tell you,
Shoot, you don't know Jason. He's not going to be outside, all right? He's going to be going through those underground tunnels from hotel to hotel during the conference, all right? He's going to be lighter than he is now, okay? But he'll still be in Vegas and he'll still be representing us, and we are forever grateful for that. Thank you, Jason. And Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the GFLGLCC at the International Business Conference representing the LGBTQ plus community from August 19th to the 22nd in Vegas. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back to the table my friend Gregg Shapiro. That is Gregg with 3 G's. You know, I usually say Gregg with 2 G's, which is wrong. It's Gregg with 3. He needed 3. That's how needy Gregg is, all right? So Gregg is an inductee into the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame. Gregg is an entertainment journalist whose celebrity interviews and reviews run in a variety of regional LGBTQ publications and websites. So Gregg, the North Beach LGBTQ Plus and Friends Happy Hour at Aquaplex is coming up August 6th. Tell me what's happening out.
On Wednesday, August 6th, from 5 to 7 p.m., North Beach LGBTQ Plus and Friends will host the North Beach Happy Hour Corner at Aquaplex Fort Lauderdale, located at 1421 East Oakland Park Boulevard. This lively gathering is part of the Rotation Wednesdays series, celebrating community, connection, and fabulous local flair. Attendees can expect a high-energy evening featuring great happy hour specials, drag performances, and exclusive North Beach-themed items, all in one of Fort Lauderdale's most iconic queer venues. The North Beach Friends is a unique social LGBTQ club that has many events, and you are invited to participate. Everyone is invited to sip and support North Beach's vibrant queer scene. Find full details at northbeachlgbtqandfriends.org. If you've ever been anywhere near the Galt Ocean Mile in Fort Lauderdale, you know just how gay and friendly the North Beach area is. And this event at Aquaplex Fort Lauderdale sounds like a perfect opportunity to meet and mingle with those welcoming no-bi folks.
And so this is no-bi again, because like when I think of North Beach, I think of Miami. And
we both think of Miami, totally.
Fort Lauderdale.
No-bi-fola, yeah.
Oh, I love
that. No-bi-fola?
No-bi-fola.
No-bi-fola.
It's all about the abbreviation.
It's all about the...
No, but the fola,
the
fola, I never didn't know that part.
I just thought of that. Just made it.
Did you just make it up?
I thought you...
Oh, they should steal that. Okay, so they should steal that, folks, right?
I hate it, yeah.
You know, LGBTQ, North Beach, LGBTQ plus and friends, steal that. Put it on a shirt or something like that. You know, no, it's not a surprise to anybody that we are in tough times right now. And every time we turn on the TV, it's something against us or someone we love. You know, and I think that people are finally coming to terms with the fact that we have to get together, right? Like our friendships mean everything. They mean more than getting a piece of butt. Okay, on the weekend. You know what I mean? It's more important than your OnlyFans or your Grindr sometimes. Don't look away. Okay, but it does. You need that friendship, and groups like this are doing more of that, and that's what you need. And what better place than Aquaplex? They've got such amazing food. They've got great entertainment. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I love this.
Yeah. I also love that they're doing the rotating Wednesdays. Like
that's a great idea.
Great idea. So many people get stagnant and this is my programming, this is all I'm going to do, us. But they're bringing in this talent. And it just showcases other talent that we may not have originally seen if we didn't go to No-bi Fola Coca-Cola.
I like
Right.
Coca-Cola. I'm sorry, that works.
It sounds like a drag name for real to me.
True. But the rotating Wednesdays, kudos to Aquaplex. I mean, great programming, great way to bring tourism
Bring in also community partners and
community
not-for-profits and different things that are so important.
Yeah, marketing replicates. So all you have to do is repost this, and it'll keep going and going, and then Wilton Manors will be on the map. I mean, even more than what it is. But yeah, rotating Wednesdays from a business perspective.
Of course,
on the chamber side, I love this.
Yeah.
Because if I can get some of my mixers out in the greater Fort Lauderdale area, that's the goal. But I got to meet the people where they're at.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly, and Aquaplex is very centrally located,
Yes.
and again, meeting people, connections are important, So Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the North Beach LGBTQ Plus and Friends Happy Hour at Aquaplex on August 6th. On August 6th, right? Yeah, August 6th, 5 to 7 p.m. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor and very, very handsome man, Alexander Zenoz. He is a talented Cuban-American singer, songwriter, actor, and musician from Miami, baby. And he's opened for icons like Deborah Cox, starred in indie hits, and now has a band named The Birds of Paradise, who are incredible. Alexander, so Pridelines hosts unique pop-up artist gallery on Lincoln Road, ooh, I love, on July 30th. Tell me what's happening out.
Well, Faye, thank you for that introduction. On July 30th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., Pridelines will be joining forces with internationally acclaimed artist Facundo Yebne, Fly, for a powerful night of art and advocacy at the Fly Miami Art Pop-Up Gallery located at 640 Lincoln Road, Miami Beach. This unique fundraiser will blend creativity and community care. Fly will donate an original piece for live auction with 100% of proceeds benefiting Pridelines. Additionally, a portion of all artwork sold during the evening will go directly towards supporting Pridelines' mission. It's not just a gallery, it's a gathering with a purpose. Pridelines is one of South Florida's top nonprofit service providers for LGBTQ plus youth. You can learn more at pridelines.org. Now, you guys know I'm all about the LGBTQ youth. It's so important, especially in Florida, when there are some of the most, vulnerable in our community. I worked with Sunshine Pride House, and made sure that and I love the 100% right back to the nonprofit. These are words that are music to my ear, and I love music, so you guys get it.
Yeah, no, and again, come on, Alexander is that kind of guy. He did this incredible performance at Hunter's and then donated all the funds over to the Pride House. And what they were doing is they were finding homes for LGBTQ plus kids. You know how that is going on right now. The most affected when it's come to Trumping in the White House has been the youth and our trans siblings, So thank you for doing that, Alexander. And these folks,
I could do.
And these folks are pulling out a page right from your rule book, I mean, and on Lincoln Road, as someone who grew up gay in the 90s on South Beach when it was more gay, Lincoln Road was that safe space that you went to. So to have galleries like this doing stuff like this again and inviting us, that's what it's all about.
So Facundo is a friend of mine, and he's also been a very good businessman, and he's done so many things in his life. And this gallery and his art is so exciting. And he had these huge ducks you may have seen on Lincoln Road. That's all. That's all.
That's on the drive.
That's all. It was. I mean, they took
on the
that
Lincoln Road.
On Lincoln Road
already.
Yeah.
So, but this is a pop-up gallery that in the store that used to be L'Occitane, and but so that he's the one who did the huge duck,
The heart,
and the heart, all this. That's all his art. And so, but he's always been very community minded. So he's working with the Gay Chamber, and he's working with Pridelines, he's working with Save. He's done a lot of events and things in the gallery, and always donating money, funds, everything.
Art.
So
yeah.
So I just did a photo shoot with him a few weeks ago in the gallery. We got some great photos, of course, with his artwork. So it's super exciting, and I plan to go on Wednesday to support him, and of course to support Pridelines, which is an organization that we absolutely love,
and that we need to support.
Yeah.
So Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Fly Miami Art Pop-Up Gallery on July 30th. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
And por supuesto, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. She is a legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of Hotspot's Happening Out's The FayWhat Show. Faye, Thinking Cap Theater celebrates Women's Equality Day, August 26th. Tell me, what's happening out?
Yes, so on August 26th, it's Women's Equality Day, all right? Put it on your calendar. And the Thinking Cap Theater will present a lively evening of suffragettes, comedies, songs, and celebration at the Hollywood Central Performing Arts Center. Doors will open at 6:45 p.m. with a vintage-style reception featuring a live pianist playing early 20th century tunes. At 7:30 p.m., audiences will head into the theater for a 1-hour lineup of parlor plays, short, humorous comedies written between 1900 and 1920 by America's suffragettes. Discovered by scholar Bettina Friedel in the 1970s, these dramatic gems explore themes like gender roles and work-life balance, still relevant today. The evening will conclude with dessert, conversation, and photo ops in the lobby. Supported by a joint grant from the Our Fund Foundation, thank you, and the Community Foundation of Broward. This event promises laughter, reflection, and a tribute to the fearless women who paved the way for equality. All the fearless women who paved the way for me sitting right here in this seat. Tickets and more info are available at thinkingcaptheater.org. All right. So August 26th, mark your calendars. And, we all know that history is being erased right in front of us, right? LGBTQ plus history. And LGBTQ plus history, like women's history, is just history. Okay? It's just history, all right? So that's why it's so important for organizations like Thinking Cap to put on something like this, right? Comedies from the 1920s. I never even thought that sentence would be something that I would be looking for and wanting to be a part of. Like, I'm super interested in this, and I'm really looking forward to this event.
Not just comedies, suffragette comedies. I mean, plays written just a few years before I was born. So excited.
So one of the things with the suffragettes is, from the business perspective, in the state of Florida alone, there are 408,000 women-owned businesses. Of that, specifically to Broward County, $1.2 million of revenue. So that's today. And these suffragettes from 1900s to 1920s were the ones who paved the way for that to be possible. I mean, from voting rights to owning a business, bringing that much revenue into the state's tourism dollars, and to the economy. Talk about economic empowerment. I'm excited to see the suffragettes, see kind of where all of our trailblazing women, much like yourself, Faye, are, where they started from and where they are now.
And where they are now. I mean, just a few decades ago, I needed one of you to get a bank account. Okay. I mean, and this is the truth, right? And here we are in 2025, where if I get pregnant right now, I have no rights over my own body. Right. So the reality is that this is where we came from. And it feels sometimes like we're going back there. You know what I mean? So it's important to learn our history for what we're going through right now. Dale?
No, you said it all.
Thank you. That's my man. Dale, close us up, please.
Oh, yeah. So, Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Thinking Cap Theater Women's Equality Day on August 26th. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Key West holds giant rainbow crosswalk protest against MAGA Florida. Key West is standing its ground against a new Florida law that could erase its iconic rainbow crosswalk. On July 26th, locals and allies flooded the intersection of Duval and Petronia streets in a massive protest, defending the landmark against what many call an attack on LGBTQ plus visibility and home rule. Under a law effective June 30th, the Florida Department of Transportation now requires all pavement markings to conform to strict guidelines, banning surface art that carries ideological messages, a move critics say targets queer symbols. Commissioner Sam Kaufman called the removal, quote, a harmful and misleading message, end quote, and urged legal action, while Mayor Didi Henriquez confirmed the city is exploring other options. Rainbow crosswalks are under attack by the MAGA leadership in Tallahassee and have had some successes in places like Palm Beach County. The protest was supported by Key West elected officials, police officers, key business community owners, and a large part of the community. Key West's message is loud and clear: the rainbow stays. MAGA may be trying to whitewash our rainbows, but Key West just serves sunburn resistance realness, bitches. Hundreds hit the streets to say, not today, DeSantis. Not today, Satan. These crosswalks aren't distractions. They're declarations of pride, history, and honestly, just our visibility, you know? Florida already has had the third largest LGBTQ population in the U.S., and Key West just reminded everyone that the rainbow is not going away quietly under no circumstances.
Well, as someone who participated in the 2017 Women's March in Key West, I can safely say that these people know how to protest. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. What is astounding is that the importance of the rainbow crosswalks to our community,
Absolutely.
and the lack of impact it has on the people who don't really care. It's all distraction, and like focus on things that matter. I mean, it matters to us. I know it sounds like I'm talking on both sides, but you get what I'm saying, right? It matters to us.
There's bigger fish
but
to
like,
fry.
but what is it? How does
there are
it
not
hurt
car
you?
accidents happening. There's nobody.
How does it hurt
murdered
you?
in these crosswalks?
Yeah.
It's
Like, you know.
literally something straight out of the Nazi playbook,
yeah.
where they're attacking art, and they're attacking art that speaks to a smaller community that they feel like they can bully to
target.
gain attention from their following.
Yeah.
Like they're doing to the trans
Violent
community
and
and the trans community.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
100%.
And we need to resist and have fun while we do it. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's how we win.
And have those protests, you know what I mean? Like, listen, big shout out going out to Key West, because I have been one that has sat at the same chair and has said that Key West is less gay than it used to be 20 years ago. Okay, and that's a fact. All the Trump
for
shirts
sure.
in the stores, in the storefronts, they scare me the last time I went down there, right? This shows me different. This shows me that we're still down there, we're still big, we're still very, very gay, and we're not gonna let something like this, you know, just roll off us, you know? Of course, here in South Florida, we got worried about our Rainbow Bridge in Wilton Manors, right? That Rainbow Bridge is in the opening of my FayWhat show. It's in the opening of my heart. Like every time I drive over that, I feel something, right? I don't know what that is, but I feel all of you. I feel the whole community, right? And so I asked Chris Caputo, which is one of our commissioners and also vice mayor, about it. And he said the new law pertains to painted crosswalks on the street. It does not pertain to the painted rainbow color scheme of the bridge itself, okay? So as of right now, we're not affected, because Alexander was like, my bridge, right? And so all I could say is that as of right now, it's crosswalks, right? They're saying that takes your vision away from something else, you know, not that you're on Grindr while you're driving, right? And then had a car accident, you know, but that's supposedly the reason. That's what they're using.
But it's
Hopefully
just
it's not the first in a series of dominoes.
But it's just it's such desperation that we even have to have this conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's, you know, West Palm Beach is going to have to remove it. It is what it is, right? Del Rey already said that they're going to remove theirs, that they're not even going to fight, all right?
Wow.
And that's the
Jason?
problem when they roll over and like let them do it.
And let them
Because it's
do it.
fear.
Yeah.
You mentioned fear, right? So people are afraid of not getting funding, not getting supported. Their city's losing out in something. And maybe that's why they're like, all right, we'll paint over this rainbow, you know?
And they use the word surface art. Surface art. You go to Chinatown, and that's culture. Are they going to start doing away with Chinatowns? Are they going to go do away with, you know, the New York City block up in New York? Like,
Right.
all of that's culture. And they're just trying to lump it in to their already existing vendetta against the arts and culture in Florida. And yeah, we're not going away.
We're not going
Because I don't know what art doesn't have a message behind it too.
Correct.
All art is some sort of message behind it. So to be like art with a pertaining message to something, it's like it's a rainbow. It's like it speaks to a community. It does not push an agenda, and it's just an attack in language. And we will not resist. I mean, Del Rey clearly will not resist, but I think we should resist, and not let this happen. You know.
Yeah. Well, go Key West, and we are thinking about you. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Dale Stine, and let's queer up gay culture. Kim Davis asks Supreme Court to rehear her case and hopes to overturn marriage equality. In a new bid to revive a decade-old legal battle, former Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis is once again asking the U.S. Supreme Court to take up her case, this time with the hope of overturning marriage equality nationwide. Davis first made headlines in 2015 when she refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples after the Supreme Court's Obergefell versus Hodges decision legalized marriage equality. She famously told one gay couple that she was acting under God's authority. when denying them a license. That act of defiance landed her in jail for 5 days and sparked national outrage. Now, backed by lawyers from the anti-LGBTQ+ group Liberty Counsel, a Southern Poverty Law Center designated hate group, Davis is asking the court to consider whether Obergefell should be overturned and whether forcing her to issue licenses violated her religious freedom. Her lawyer, Matt Staver, claims, quote, "We are asking the court to recognize the First Amendment as an absolute defense for Kim Davis and to overturn the 2015 Obergefell opinion, which has no basis in the Constitution," end quote. Staver also called Obergefell a threat to states' rights, religious freedom, and the rule of law. The case centers on David Arnold and David Moore, who were denied a license by Davis and later awarded $100,000 in damages and over $260,000 in attorney's fees. Davis has already been denied qualified immunity by multiple courts. This marks Davis's second attempt to bring her case before the Supreme Court. In 2020, the court declined to hear it. Legal experts say this case is unlikely to succeed due to its age and Davis's blatant violation of constitutional rights. Arnold and Moore's attorney Bill Powell remains confident, stating, quote, "Not a single judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals showed any interest in Davis' rehearing petition, and we are confident the Supreme Court will likewise agree that Davis's arguments do not merit further attention," end quote. While Davis and her supporters continue to press for legal reckoning, LGBTQ+ advocates say the real threat isn't Kim Davis, it's the larger push from the far right to chip away at hard-won rights. Wow. So, of course, we all remember when this story first broke and she became the face, and she's still the face of this hatred and this...
What a face.
I'm not going to be mean, but yeah. And that hair, girl, that hair. It's just, I just keep trying. I don't understand why it keeps happening, but she's really determined.
Yeah.
I will give her that. She's really determined. But I really hope that the Supreme Court doesn't choose to hear it.
Yeah.
But I mean, they very well could, especially with the court as it stands now.
Right. If it gets in front of Trump, who knows what could happen, right? I mean, girl, give it up. I mean, 2015, okay, we're not overturning a Obergefell. We're not, okay? It's not happening, at least not right now, you know? And you've been fighting this for a while, and I'm telling you, like, under God's authority, I'm telling you, a makeover will do you good.
Well, now that we know the Orange Orifice is considering pardoning sexual predator Ghislaine Maxwell, the right wing of redemption of 4 times divorced Kim Davis in her urine-stained denim jumper probably isn't far behind.
She's been divorced 4 times?
4 times.
But
she's an expert.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
There's
There's
nothing
nothing wrong with that.
right?
No. She's an expert.
Under God's authority, there's 4 things wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I would think.
It's the hypocrisy.
do you remember this girl?
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
How can, right? Like, if she's like, again, like if you saw her in a crowd, she doesn't stand out. She would totally blend in like nothing. But then she still keeps on popping up. It's like that stupid game that you have to hit.
Yeah,
Like,
whack-a-mole.
keeps on popping up every couple of years with some shit, you know?
I think it's ridiculous. I think, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, the Trump administration entertains this just to get this Epstein, throws another distraction in front of the Epstein list, which is amazing that they're getting, brought down for this. And I just think it's laughable that they want to quote the First Amendment out of the Constitution when clearly they don't give a fuck about the Constitution. They don't give a shit about it.
They don't even know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's the Second Amendment. Yeah. Other than that,
Right.
they don't care about anything
My guns, my damn guns.
That's it. Big guns mean
Right.
small other
Sorry
stuff.
about
That's
your
all I'll say, all right? That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Jason Nunez, and let's queer up the USA view. New poll reveals most Americans think gender transition is morally wrong. A shocking new Gallup poll reveals that most Americans believe it's morally wrong to transition gender than to gamble, wear animal fur, or test medicines on animals. In its annual Values and Beliefs survey, Gallup asked U.S. adults about the moral acceptability of 20 different behaviors. The data shows only 40% believe transitioning gender is morally acceptable, while 54% say it's morally wrong. That's a decline from last year, when 44% supported the moral right to transition. By comparison, 47% said medical testing on animals is acceptable, and 56% said the same about the death penalty. Interestingly, 64% of Americans find same-sex relationships morally acceptable, showing a significant gap in how queer identities are viewed. Gallup noted that while most views remain consistent since last year, there were modest shifts around abortion and gender transition. The data splits sharply along party lines. While 71% of Democrats say transitioning is morally acceptable, just 9% of Republicans agree. Yet, despite moral opposition, Gallup found that 62% of Americans oppose laws banning gender-affirming care for trans youth. Over half of U.S. states have passed laws banning such care, leaving more than 40% of trans youth without access to life-saving support. So, in response to Gallup, who took these surveys?
Let's start there.
Let's start there. Who took these surveys? Who did they poll? And were they found to be relatable to the question?
What are the demographics of the?
What are the demographics? Did they rate their morality before taking 20, 40 different categories of morality questions? Did they ask the trans mom or the mother of a trans child who got bullied in Chicago?
Yeah.
Did they ask the trans kid dad who took them to their first Pride so that they can feel safe finally in a community? Who was asked these questions?
Right.
I have a feeling white cisgendered men from Idaho or Oregon were asked, okay, and that's that, okay? That's who I think it was, all right? I mean, let's talk facts. 54% of Americans think transitioning is morally wrong, but 62% oppose bans on trans health care.
It makes no sense.
I'm super confused. Are you? Okay, we all are at this table. This Gallup poll just shows that people fear what they don't understand.
And they said 9% of Republicans. Is that what was that number?
9% of Republicans versus 71% of Democrats.
I think 71 is low for Democrats. I think that's embarrassing.
That's true too, though.
Right. Well, is it too reductive to say that most Americans are ignorant and uneducated? Two things I consider to be morally wrong. That's morally wrong. Being ignorant and uneducated.
And making such bold statements about something about which you have no idea.
No.
Yeah,
no clue.
I think Jesus himself would come down and be like,
Oh my
dude,
God.
educate yourself. You're a freaking moron.
Jesus is a full-on bleeding heart liberal.
The
And
reality.
These people are not. The Christians they're not Christians. They're not being Christ-like in any way, shape,
At
or
all.
form.
At all. Alexander, you were saying?
Oh, I was saying...
Because you were getting mad over there. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the same thing. I would love to know the actual numbers of who they polled. Did they wait outside of the most cultish churches and for the people to come out?
Chick-fil-A.
Oh my
Chick-fil-A, they stood next to the guy in the drive-thru who was taking the orders, and right after said, "Oh, do you believe in this?" It's ridiculous. I don't believe these numbers. It would make me question the entire polling company that did this poll. And on top of it, if it is true, which I doubt, I just think then the next question is there's a lot of Americans who honestly need to get lobotomized and stop answering polls.
Oh my God.
Already have been a little bit.
That is not contingent with Queer News Tonight. That's my opinion.
You're so cute. But I mean, it's a real poll, right? A real stats, the Trevor Project, right? Every single year they take out their poll, right? And it's true that 9 out of 10 kids think about ending their lives, right? In the LGBTQ plus community, it shouldn't be that high.
It's terrible.
That is crazy. You know what I mean? The reality is that gender affirming care reduces suicide by an astronomical amount, 80% or something crazy. That's not up for debate. You know what I mean? Gender affirming care is a freaking lifesaver. All right. And it's if you explain to people and you educated people, even the most God-fearing person.
The alleged pro-life people.
Alleged. The facts.
Right. No, I'm saying the alleged pro-life people they're not pro-life.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Gregg Shapiro. Let's queer up politics. George Santos is now officially in federal prison. So long, farewell, you're going to be popular. The flamboyant, scandal-plagued former congressman, once hailed as the first out gay Republican elected to Congress without being closeted, has officially traded the Capitol for a prison cell. Santos, now 37, surrendered to federal authorities at FCI Fairton in New Jersey to begin serving an 87-month sentence, just over 7 years, for 23 felony counts including wire fraud, identity theft, and falsifying records. The former New York lawmaker's fall was as dramatic as his rise. Gay California Representative Robert Garcia, who first called for Santos's expulsion, told The Advocate, quote, "I think he's going to face and do his time, and that's important for justice, and he lied and committed some horrible crimes, and he's got to be held accountable for those. At the same time, I hope that he can reflect, and when he gets out of his sentence, that he can come to amends and be a better person," end quote. Santos famously misused donor funds for Botox, Ferragamo shoes, and OnlyFans. And true to form, he told listeners during a final audio broadcast Thursday night, quote, "I'm surrendering in Ferragamo so I can walk out in Ferragamo," end quote, as he described his preparations for incarceration. From drag queen Kitara Rivage to Capitol Hill con man, Santos' saga reads like fiction. As author Mark Chiusano put it, quote, "He believes his own lies," end quote. In his final post on Twitter, he says, quote, "Well, darlings, the curtain falls, the spotlight dims, the rhinestones are packed. From the halls of Congress to the chaos of cable news, what a ride it's been. Was it messy? Always. Glamorous? Occasionally. Honest? I tried most days. To my supporters, you made this wild political cabaret worth it. To my critics, thanks for the free press. I may be leaving the stage for now, but trust me, legends never truly exit," end quote. I'm sorry, Mr. Garcia. The only thing that Santos will be reflecting on is his withering image in a shatterproof mirror illuminated by harsh fluorescent lighting. 87 months, give or take, should be just enough time for Kitara Rivage to begin mounting several show-stopping extravaganzas in the dining hall at FCI Fairton.
That was like a performance, right?
A full-on dramatic reading. Like, I'm all here for it.
Yeah.
23 felony counts. And he's going to jail.
11 less than someone we know.
Yeah.
In the Oval Office.
In the Oval
Do him
Office. Yeah, I was 23 felony counts and he goes to jail. But
Yeah. There's.
I guess justice isn't for everybody.
You gotta do more.
Justice is not for brown people, okay? Again, if he was white, Trump might get him out just for shits and giggles, all right? But because he's brown, he's not. All right, let's try to remember some of the lies that Mr. Santos told us about. He started the puppy con, right? He started raising money and getting money, and he started a charity supposedly called Friends of Pets United. That was a lie, and he got a bunch of money, and he just used it for himself. He did that in Pennsylvania. He said he was part of a mass shooting. Right? He said he and 4 employees at 2016 were at the Pulse nightclub.
Right.
He said he was Jewish. He said he was a Wall Street kingpin. He said he was a star volleyball player. Bitch, you can't throw a ball, all right? He was a Broadway musical producer, right? And we all know about his drag performance as his alter ego, whatever that woman's name was. Kitara. The guy deserves to be in jail, all right? I mean, I'm surprised he was out this long. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you know? I mean, and there's other boys there for you to play with. It might not all be so bad. I mean, Alexander, what do you think?
I think jail would be really great for him. I think he'll make some good friends who lifelong, and I think it, maybe it will give him some grounding of like where people are coming from, so he can be less of a diva. Maybe.
I'm sure he'll bend over backwards to help him. And isn't it interesting how quiet the GOP is on this behavior? Like not a word, not a peep.
No,
not a peep.
No, they're not allowed to talk right now.
Yeah.
Saying, well, that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Alexander Zenoz, and let's queer up politics. South Park creators goad Trump and Paramount after Payoff. South Park is back, and it's hitting harder than ever. The LGBTQ community cheered South Park's jokes about small penises and gay sex, at least when the brunt of the joke is against President Trump. In the jaw-dropping premiere of its 27th season, South Park delivers an episode so outrageous it blurs the line between satire and current events. From micro-penises to Jesus Christ himself, the show has one question: what's left to parody when reality is already extreme? The episode opens with Cartman lamenting that NPR has been canceled and he can't mock liberals anymore. The school principal quotes the Bible, Jesus gives speeches at assemblies, and news anchors refuse to criticize the president, all out of fear of lawsuits. Cartman realizes, quote, "Everyone hates the Jews, everyone fine with using gay slurs. Now I don't know what I'm supposed to do," unquote. Sorry for the bad impersonation. Instead of their usual Trump parody, this time the real Donald Trump appears. A photo of Trump is pasted over a construction paper body, voiced with the same tone and themed music once used for Saddam Hussein. Satan, now Trump's boyfriend, gets a rude awakening. In bed, Satan complains, quote, "You haven't been working. You've been doing your stupid memes and just fucking around," unquote. Trump responds by dropping his pants to reveal a micropenis. Satan says, quote, "I can't even see anything. It's so small," unquote. The Trump character slaps him and then threatens to sue Satan. Throughout the episode, Trump threatens to sue nearly everyone, including Jesus, who tells students he's only speaking at school due to, quote, "a lawsuit and the agreement with Paramount," unquote. The episode skewers Paramount directly mocking its $16 million settlement in Trump's 60-minute lawsuit, and the cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, just days after Colbert criticized the deal. Series creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone have also inked a $1.5 billion deal with Paramount Plus, which includes 50 new episodes. But they are not hiding their frustration with the company's Skydance merger. By the episode's end, Trump is shown forcing South Park to air a series of pro-Trump ads. The first PSA shows a live-action Trump stripping in the desert, revealing a googly-eyed micro-penis. The ad concludes, quote, "Trump, his penis is teeny tiny, but his love for us is large," unquote. This is Parker and Stone's line in the sand. South Park won't hold back to avoid lawsuits, even if the rest of the media, including their own network, does. In related news, Queer News Tonight just reports the LGBTQ news of the day and does not endorse tiny penises or gay sex with Satan. Honestly, I love this, guys. It's such a good episode. If you haven't seen it, along with everything they've just done, they get better and better, and it feels like original South Park when they're just like writing it like 3 days before it's like even like about to air. Like it's raw, it's there, it's in your face. And I think it's a great stand to be having right now, you know?
Yeah, well, listen, I used to watch South Park, all right, with a cocktail in my hand. But baby, I might relapse just to honor the cojones of these boys, all right? Calling out Trump's micropenis and gay Satan sex, that's not just satire. That is savage queer courage right there. While all the other networks are all afraid and Colbert lost his job, these guys are like, F you, I'm not kissing the ring, all right? And what? Yes, I will sign a $1.2 billion contract and bring you 50 more episodes of this stuff. Just keep watching. I am living for it. I just watched it right before the show, okay? That's how much. Watch it, folks at home, okay? I don't want to ruin it for you, but we already told you everything that's going to happen on it, all right? The micro dick is all about it. It's all about it.
I love the inclusion of KKK Caroline Levitt. Oh, yeah. I love her being represented. And have any of you accepted Trey Parker and Matt Stone as your personal saviors?
Since the Book of Mormon.
Well, you know, the point you make about the rest of the media, like kowtowing and kissing the ring and not having the cojones to speak out on this shit. I mean, it is like kudos, props, big time. Yeah.
I mean, like, even in the show, they're like, remember what happened to Colbert, right? Like, I mean, they're so upfront with everything,
Kind
right?
of meta, very meta, yeah.
You know, Jason?
It's like the cartoon version of SNL. It's like raw, it's real, it's in real time. Like, this is true talent, talking about arts and culture. Like, this is true talent to be able to write an entire script, animate it, like,
Oh my God.
within the same week of real-time news. What I would want to say is that I hope we don't normalize this. You know, the parody and stuff is funny, but how many people who are not in tune with reality think that this is reality, and that then this becomes their normal. I know, I feel like a
Why you gotta be a Debbie Downer?
feel like a
I'm
Debbie
so
Downer.
excited.
I feel
was
that
like,
there's the
oh,
kids who are
man.
just into like gooning, as they call it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they don't take anything seriously.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think this might end up helping them because they're gonna goon about it.
Yeah.
And then
Can you tell
what'll
us what a
happen?
goon is?
I honestly barely know. I
You
understand
used
these
it twice in 2
I
sentences.
know.
Tell me.
I understand it as far as I know as like pretty much when the kids are online and they're just like eating shit and they're like not taking anything seriously. They're making fun of anything. It's like when they use the R word or they like just make fun of liberal tears or something like that. But they're like kids who aren't even like Republicans. They're just like, they're on
Stupid.
TikTok
They're
all
just
day.
try-
They're
they're
stupid.
just trying to F-
I just want to be a billionaire. What do you want to be when you grow up? A billionaire?
They're also just trying to F things. They're just trying to F things up, like you know,
Yeah.
going like on TikTok and stuff. Not really having any investment in anything, just wanting to F it up.
Which involves their future.
Yeah, which is
And
really
that's
kind of like.
But I feel like it's going to end up like a lot of young people are going to end up joking about it and doing it and making fun of Trump, and it'll just piss Trump off more in the
Even
long
more so,
run.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, stay tuned.
It's good.
Stay tuned, okay? And again, don't sue Queer News Tonight, please. That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Those are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. These anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ plus community.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. This is the passion of Hotspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your lead anchor, FayWhat, and I wish you a fabulous evening. On behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Dale Stine, Jason Nunez, Gregg Shapiro, and Alexander Zenoz. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. to our LGBTQ plus world. We hope that you will join us by embracing love, generosity, bravery, by being transformative, and of course, being queer. Good night.
Night.